Hello and welcome to Kate and Kat's podcast. We run our podcast a little differently than most. Our podcasts are completely spirit-led, and we never know who we're going to have on or what's going to come up to heal. Every episode is a new adventure where we walk people through healing anything from spirit guides to past lives to inner child work, how the energies and trauma affects the mechanical workings of our physical bodies, and exploring time, space, and dimensions and how it's all happening now. This podcast is for beginners and experts alike. This can be considered explicit content to some, as we do not edit ourselves, and sometimes deep trauma work comes up unexpectedly. And also, we cuss like sailors.
On this episode of Kate and Kat Live, we're joined by Joe Nesbitt for a threesome hehe session. We started all out by Joe giving Kate a brief recap from a session he and I had recently. We go into what's the next step of healing mode and follow that into some more focused work. We help Joe work on the energy and perspectives connected to social interactions and just have a lot of fun doing it. As always, feel free to follow along with any of the healings that come up during this episode that you might find helpful. Without further ado, if you love bad bitches, and that's your fucking problem? On with the podcast. Hello? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Hey!
Oh, great. It said audio only. Did I click the wrong thing?
No, click your square. See if it will do it.
Oh, hello. Can you see me?
No, not yet.
Oh,
Okay, click the square
Still
first.
Oh, I
That's
have
cool.
to hit apply or something. Save.
Yeah, click the square, hit no effect, hit camera, hit save.
There we
Hey!
go. Hey, everyone.
Hi.
All
What's
right.
going on?
Not much. What's going on with you guys? Happy Tuesday.
Nancy said, is this Jake from State Farm? What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm? All right. Is there anything you wanted to look at specifically, or do we just want to kind of dive in?
What do you think, Kat? I mean, we had a crazy cool session yesterday. I don't know if that's going to
Where
come
did
up
I
tonight.
go?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I went
Okay.
somewhere. My screen went somewhere. I was like, where did I go? Yeah, I actually was so excited about it that I talked to Kate about that one yesterday. And I was real hyper on the call because it was like, we're at this point. Oh my God, we're at this point. This is one of the best. This is one of the best. And I was like, he saw the hand and she's like, oh yeah, we're at the hand point. And I was like, yeah. And then there was a puzzle box and she's like, oh shit, okay.
It was crazy. That was insane.
Are you looking for like more clarity about it, or just do you want to start talking about your side of the experience?
So-
Because I didn't make a video about it or anything, so it'd be cool
Yeah,
to
I
hear
was
about
gonna
anyway.
say, I guess I don't know if I guess nobody knows much about it. I had one or two questions about it that I was gonna one of the ones I wanted to ask was why was there a timer there? And like if there was a
A
reason
countdown timer.
that was there, if there was something extra to heal there. I was just gonna suggest we go with most impactful, but I didn't know if you specifically wanted to look at that particular healing yesterday. But no, that was crazy. I mean, I can just tell the camera like what it felt like for me. It was absolutely insane. It was like I feel like now that I've sort of integrated with it for a day now, it was like so I'm very respectful. Kat made a video about me the other day, and I have been working on feeling like that the creator is like something other than me, and like that I channel through me and I do what I do, but we're separate kind of a thing. And yesterday we went to the most impactful point, and it was like literally Super Smash Bros. Final boss stage, just like in the middle of this space. And then Kat was talking about she's done work there, and there's like this hand that she did with other people, but we were like on the final boss stage with the hand, and then there was a giant puzzle box, like one of those wooden boxes that you have to like move all these different things to figure it out. And it was just like me and Kat were just like, okay, like, do we need the puzzle box? It was just like, just go away. It's just like, and it just like evaporated, right? It just like shrunk down because we told it to go away.
Mhm.
And then it was like, I can't even describe. There were so many intense feelings, but it was like this giant nebula that I was creating, like a golden aura nebula. But I was just like stirring a cauldron, like building this crazy thing. Now that I've been
So you
integrating
were the
with it,
creator.
I think that it's like what I want to say about it was I was like deferring to it's like, oh, this is the creator's painting. You just say the universe is like a painting. It's like, oh, that's their painting, and it's like my job to like share it or protect it or talk about it, whatever. But that's not my painting, you know? And I feel like that deference was what was locking up this huge part of myself in this box. And it was like,
Hmm.
because it's not my painting, like I'm not supposed to change any colors. I'm not supposed to be in here. You know what I mean? And so I feel like what I've been integrating is that it's like, I'm supposed to be here. It's so crazy. It's so weird to say out loud. It's like, I'm supposed to be in this painting. And the painting's never going to get finished if I didn't unlock this. And it was either going to be me this lifetime or some other time, but it was like, I have to do this. But whatever we unlocked is fucking massive. It was so big, and it was like, so I've been getting like little shakes and jitters and like weird little twitches in different parts of my body. I think I'm like integrating with it all day long, but I think that I'm realizing that I had to break that free. I had to break that out to help, like, to even make the painting complete. Even if I was trying to make the painting better or whatever, it's like I have to be in there. I
Hmm.
can't explain it, but it's because the universe is like a hologram, right? And it's like the all is contained within each part, and like you can't you can't draw a box around that without yourself being inside of it.
Which
So,
means you're the
anyways, no,
creator, right?
no, exactly, no, but it was crazy. It's been absolutely crazy. So, what do you think? I think we could just do most impactful, and if it comes up, it comes up.
Like most impactful dealing with the session, or just like most impactful in general? What are you wanting to do?
Because you can just ask what's next. Like what am I ready to like heal or gain clarity on? Like, and you can go in succession of like what's next, or you can just go to most impactful and it might go there and it might go somewhere else.
Let's see. Let's ask if there. Let's go to if there's any next steps or anything else to resolve here with
Okay.
what we did yesterday. Let's start there.
Okay. So do you use future most healed version of me, or do you use spirit, or both?
I say spirit.
Okay.
So go
So
ahead.
just yeah, spirit. What's did you say the next step?
Yeah,
Next most impactful step. Okay. So you could say spirit. What's the next most impactful step?
spirit. Please show us what is the next most impactful step with this healing.
I'm in a bedroom. Is this the heart space?
It's real emotional. So, okay.
I'm just picking up wood, like a wooden room.
Bedpost?
Might be.
Okay.
I almost thought like a pirate ship at first, but wooden, something wooden.
You have a blousey shirt on, like a blousey white. No, not right now. In the in the energy.
No, yeah, no. I felt like
There's a wood room.
who's little Bo Peep with her
Yeah, it's very
fluffy
blousey.
dress.
I mean, you're still, you know,
Spirit, please allow me to
male
see, feel,
form.
and hear the truth.
It's very not on, you know, the what's the one guy on Pirates of the Caribbean? Not the main guy, but the other guy.
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, that guy. It's very that. Like same length of hair, same like build.
What do
Like
we need to
definitely
see
was
here,
raised
Spirit?
proper, but like is now on a like a pirate adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because now we're in the Wild West. The universe used to make more sense to me. Did I say that? Did I say that correctly? The universe used to make more sense, like before the healing yesterday, and now things are kind of shifting. and it feels like the Wild West.
Because it's actually what it is. You're seeing it for what it actually is.
Yeah.
It will make sense again. It just goes through like
it's just shifting.
Mm-hmm.
Like even prayers and like phrases and like the same words that I use every day. When I was doing it this morning, I'm like, why can't I think of that next word? Like it's like it just feels different because I'm different.
Yeah, you're a different version of you. That's
so
cool.
what do we
Our
need
language
to see here?
and our language and our healing changes constantly, and it just evolves. One day, all of a sudden, like we just noticed that we just kept saying conducive, and we were saying it in regular conversation. Then it just like it became, and it was like, how the fuck did that even become the thing? But it made sense because, like, I use the analogy of like iPhone versus Android. You do the same steps, but conducive to what that protocol needs. So it made it to where our healings could be more expansive. But yeah, wording and stuff changes like all the time. Like just this last month, we started using future healed version of us, but we had always used like most healed version and spirit, depending on or whatever. And then, yeah, it all changes all the time because as you create more of it, be more aware. I think the thing is like you seem to still come from a place of like, here is me and here is my understanding of everything, instead of what can I create today? Like,
Call me out. No, I want this. I need this.
What do you need to do here?
Yeah, I was just wondering that too. What are we doing here?
I don't know. It feels like 4 corners, and you just keep slamming yourself against corners of the room. If it's not too personal, I guess on a live, it's like, do you have a significant other?
I'm dating someone now, yeah.
Okay. It just kind of feels like walls that I'm going to say it again, that you just keep slamming your shoulders against, like confined.
I'm trying to break out.
Trying to put this into better words. It feels really fucking good to have it be this way because it can't get past a certain level, and but you want it past a certain level, but it can't. But that's okay because then it can't reach a certain depth. So it kind of feels like the bed doesn't even need to be in here. Is this place even comfortable to you?
Let me think. Yeah, I get a little bit of a yes. I don't recognize it myself.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like, I don't think any of this is supposed to be here, but it feels real good. But it feels kind of cold and dead. If you were to just kind of
remove everything that doesn't belong.
If you were to just kind of rebirth and regrow it, what would it look like?
Spirit, please rebirth and regrow this conducive.
that's a lot.
It looks more like a grass and a garden now.
I was going to say the wood came to life.
This feels more like you.
It's kind of interesting because it feels like as you're expanding your viewpoint on everything, it's going to open up more of not just your relationship with, quote unquote, the universe or creation or whatever, but literally with yourself.
No, I'm already, it was so major yesterday. I can't even tell you. I know Kat felt that you were there, but I feel it. I know that that's already happening, It's like, go ahead.
When you asked what's next, and it took us basically to your heart center, and then your relationship not only with yourself but with your significant other, and then breaking down the constructs of trying to understand what that relationship is. It's the same thing, just on a smaller scale, but it's not a smaller scale. So it's like you and your partner can create it together. It doesn't have to be a thing it doesn't have to be a puzzle box that you figure out.
Oh, that was a light bulb moment.
Tap, and then it expands to this beautiful garden.
Yeah, that's crazy. We just tapped that whole puzzle box away. So what do we need to see right here though?
What
Anything
seeds do you want
else?
to plant?
Have you ever, before you do that, have you ever seen those art things where they go in and it goes into a little picture and then it goes into a little
Yeah,
thing? It's
it
like
keeps
that.
infinite zone.
It's like
Yeah.
that. So what seeds do you want to plant here is the question Kate asked you.
Um, okay, so this is so funny. I have to bring this up. Me and Kat were working the other day and we found another part of my soul. Part of what I created was like bringing like systems to life, like with the plants and air and oxygen and people breathing out carbon dioxide and stuff. And it led down this whole path of getting to Yggdrasil. And then I could merge in with Yggdrasil, like that's part of my oversoul. Well, that I brought that up in that session with Kat because the other year I was doing like a guided meditation with a spirit guide, and I came to Yggdrasil, and I felt like this massive seed. That's the seed I want to plant. It's like something connected with me in Yggdrasil, and it's huge. And there's only one of them, I think.
You know what's funny is when Kate and I first started talking, she was very versed in Norse stuff, and she was talking about this exact thing. And
Try to merge with Ymir.
I'm not familiar with that. So, Spirit, please let me merge with Ymir.
That's Odin's father.
I felt like I went in. Question mark.
it was already in. It was already connected. But you did merge with that tree, so it makes sense to me that you are already merged in with that.
So this giant seed, let me bring it back
Why
to
not
this.
plant Joe's seeds? Is kind of where I'm thinking to
Okay.
go with this. It's like just your seeds in your garden. Does that make sense?
All of them.
Yes.
There you go.
Spirit, please plant these seeds, spread them far and wide throughout all of my gardens.
There's like music and like birds chirping. It's like a whole ecosystem. It's real poetic.
I feel like sleep tokens playing in the background. Know my desire.
This place makes me really happy.
Uh-huh.
This is great. Is there anything else here, Spirit?
What about the sky here? When you look up, it's really painful to look up here.
Well, that brings me to this. Can you ask, if soul's consent and team allows, basically, what does your partner need to add to this garden? What is their part to create in this relationship, in this sector?
With their soul's consent, Spirit, please allow David to plant all his seeds throughout this garden conducive.
Very respectful and in one line.
Very demure, very mindful.
It's just like in one line too. It's very like
There. I did it. Like,
Oh, so that's making me think like, do more people need to be in my garden?
well, there's different sectors of garden. So there's like, as you said, like the all and the none or whatever, and then like the going in, and we're all a part of the big everything. But your garden should be a sanctity for yourself and whoever you allow in. But that can expand out into like the outer sectors of the garden, which would be like your business, your family, your friendship, your social media, whatever. And it has its own, those like You know how the flat earth people, and I say that just because like I'm talking about the specific maps that they show, where it's like, okay, there's this and then there's an outer ring and there's an outer ring and there's an outer ring. That kind of analogy, it's like that.
Yeah, so
So
we're in the
do
inner
more people need
sanctum
to
right
be
now.
do more people need to be in your garden, or does your garden need to intersect with other people's conducive?
Or do you need to just look out in your horizon and just see that there's people? One of my pocket dimensions has that where it's like, oh, there's a whole city over there. Over there. Hi. But they're still in there. It's just away from me.
Spirit,
Actually,
please show me where this intersects with other gardens.
It reminds me, Kate, of like how like when we first started looking at all of this stuff together, your stuff was always like in the middle of a desert and barren, and you're like, just the way I like it.
Yes, that way no one
yes,
can hurt
this is
me.
fine.
It's not like that anymore. She's healed a lot, so now it's like flourishing and beautiful and stuff, but it was just real funny.
I can't tell when people are taking from me. I will never again. Okay. Deserts. No one can come here.
So the thing that I feel like I need to say about this part of the garden is I choose not to let almost anybody in so deep by choice to kind of protect myself.
That's why you're slamming against the walls.
So one like idea that I was going to bring up in a session, Kat, was I feel like I want to heal like a resting bitch face, or like a kind of like that standoffish protective like not letting people in.
Okay,
like,
first of all, you're not reading the comments because I was like, oh my God, his voice is so soothing. Like, oh, he's, you know, the not the demurity, but your
demeanor.
Just everything about you is very calm and very welcoming. So I don't know what you're talking about with standoffishness. Now, you being too bright and people uncomfortable with your shine, that I can see.
That could definitely be part of it. I think, like, for example, when I go out with my partner, like, people will talk to my partner, or like, I don't know, I think, is this in my head? I think it's real though.
Yeah,
you know,
because
like when the conversation's like popping off, like I feel like I have that type of autism where whenever I finish my story, it goes like dead silent, and everyone's like, "Yeah, well, okay."
Kate will be like, "You're allowed to laugh. That was a joke."
Yes.
Yeah, that's so me.
What's helped me is just saying it out loud. I would like to be friends. Are you talking to me because you want to be friends with me? Are you trying to embarrass me? Or it's very that, because it's like, well, I can't fucking tell, but you can tell because you're doing it. So I guess I'll just ask. The resting bitch face thing too, in my experience, is like sometimes it hurts people to talk to you because you're so open. Just judging from what I see with you, because you're so ready to talk, like because you're so ready and accepting. That's what it is. That's the word I was looking for. Because you're so accepting, people are not ready for that. They know you're accepting. Your face says it.
Yeah, that clicks for me. I feel like it's the people who don't want to unmask, the people who are too entrenched that can't be themselves. I don't get along with those people.
Why do you want to?
I guess I feel like it's something that's wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's my fault, or it doesn't feel good, or the social moment like isn't fun. Then I'm like, oh, I should change. But
so one of the things that I work on a lot, or help people work on, is instead of negative connotation of a mindset or of a thing, changing the perspective of it to gain the clarity of why it is the way it is, and it takes the heaviness out of it. and it doesn't make it to where it's resting on your shoulders or on someone else's as if it's your fault or their fault or what have you. It ends up being like, why does that happen? What is the meaning behind that? And then it's almost like it reminds me of when I first learned astrology. And the reason I learned it was so I could be like, oh, they don't hate me. They're just a Leo. Got it. Got it. Like, or whatever the case may be, of that situation, it's like, oh, that's just how that operates. Understood. I understand it. So it no longer holds any weight. Like it's not. So
it's not charged. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is like, okay, so give an example of when you go, like an example you went out, use names or don't, it doesn't really matter. And that happened to you.
Okay. Let me think. So I'm picturing like getting together with my cousins at a family reunion, and I do have whatever mild type of autism where I have all these special interests. Like one of them is crystals. I love all the crystals and stuff. And so it's just like talking about something that I care about or whatever, or it's like I can't be interested in the small talk, the small details or whatever. And someone says something, and then I'm like, oh, that's cool. That reminds me of this thing that I'm super passionate about. And then I like stop because I'm like, okay, you've been talking for 3 minutes or whatever. And then it's just like dead air. And then now we're all collectively trying to think of a different topic.
That seems pretty normal. It's like I want to keep going. You know what I've run into a lot, or people, I see it in people at work, is they don't know how to join into that. And so they just sit there and think. It's not that they're not interested, but it's like, it's what you just described. It's like they're all sitting there thinking. It's like, wow, I don't know anything about crystals. I saw this crystal once.
But
that's stupid to say.
But they could have taken off, like, okay, so their conversation about what they were passionate about sparked your conversation of what you're passionate about, which it should have sparked someone else's passion, and they could talk about what they're passionate about and be like, oh my God, I get that same feeling every time I see Corvettes. Oh my God, I get that same feeling every time I hear guitar. But they don't have that. They don't know how to integrate it.
Can I bring up, I feel like, so when I was in grad school or even undergrad, I had a lot of like class project type of scenarios and stuff. And I feel, or I was called out at different points in different groups, not like a major thing, but that for being like condescending or like not letting, like if I'm trying to make an A project and you're putting out C plus ideas, we're moving on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's kind of cold, and I think that is kind of standoffish. Or there's like a completeness, like when I speak, there's like a completeness of thought, so that there's not room for other voices. Even though I want to be challenged. If you have a better idea, I want to hear it. It's just that I might think that my ideas are so great that you don't feel like you have room to speak if you're not as bright and shiny as I feel sometimes.
Yeah. But it's like, what are you supposed to do about that? I mean, you could be like, so what are your ideas? I did try that, like in high school. I was like, so I went to blah, 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 blah place. So what are your favorite things about Texas? And so, like, I would say like 60% of the time it worked. But, I was socially awkward. And so I'd just be like, yeah, same thing.
So let's look at it from an energetic point, because there's lots of communication lines and things that can be cleared or wires uncrossed or whatever. Or there's even like different brain spirals or divot points or things like that. So let's go in. Let's go in and look at it and see what's up.
You put periods at the end. And they're giant.
Me?
Yes.
You.
Oh, when I speak?
Yes. And I think it's just like it is energetic, obviously, but it's very like, my name is Joe, period.
Yeah, okay. I want to understand this because it's not consciously intentional. Like,
well, yeah.
And it'd be okay if I knew what I was doing.
Okay, so I went to a wedding because we're speaking punctuation, and I just learned how to do this like not that long ago. Went to a wedding with one of my friends, and he knew half the wedding party because of restaurants he worked in, and I knew the other half of restaurants I worked in, and then he and I knew each other from high school. And I was like, yeah, maybe we're like, getting closure on this or whatever. And he's like, oh no, honey, we're turning those ellipses into periods. And I was like, what? And he goes, no more ... No more commas, no more continuation of semicolons, period, exclamation point, you're done, I have closure, goodbye. And I was like, holy shit, my whole life is very like ellipses ... or semicolon or whatever. To put a punctuation on something was like a closing punctuation that doesn't leave any opening for anything else was wild to me. The way that I had it set it up for camaraderie, conversation, continuation of relationships. Even when someone hurt me, I didn't know how to finalize it. So yours is not emotion based. Yours is very period. And it's so final
Period.
that there's no room for add-on.
That's it. That's what I want to work on. So can I say, Spirit, please take us to the most impactful point we can heal this.
You're writing your code to Joe. You're writing your Joe code.
Yeah, you're like HTMLing.
I mean, you could make the font smaller for the periods, because right now the font is like 62 just for the periods.
Like, it needs to be more like 12. The rest of your font is at 12.
And it's like, I want it 62 for some reason.
It's not even in the same font.
I feel like it's bold italicized. Like,
it's funny you guys did like digital, because I saw like me handwriting a younger version, like by hand with writing something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny that it's in code for you guys.
Well, we're up here, we're tuned into this part of you, but it happened at that age. We're at the same point at different perspective points.
Why is your period italicized?
When you need to make the page count for an essay, make all the periods 24 point. Did I just put that on my whole life?
Well, it didn't leave any room, just like you said.
So, Spirit, please show us what's the next step here? What can we do here?
Just recode it or change your perspective at that younger age to be updated to how you want it to be now. That fits who you are now, and see what happens.
Oh, you have the keyboard that makes the clickies.
Spirit, please undo and redo any codes that are not in my highest good for my current now form.
Okay.
Are we done here?
I'll put your font at 14. So I'll put your periods at 14.
There's
because they still need to be
sizes. Yeah, they still need to punch a little, because then you get walked all over if you don't.
My name is Joe ? Just kidding. That's so funny.
I knew a girl that talked like that, and it was so hard not to make fun of her, and I felt so bad. But every fucking sentence she said went like this every time, and it was like, holy shit, bitch, like everything. And she's like, yeah, one time we went to the store, and it was so weird.
So one thing I remember from like when I did my human design the other year was like, Joe's head is empty. It's supposed to be empty. It stays empty. It's not like a full head. It's like an empty head.
Oh,
but it was all about like the message was like basically you don't know everything and it's okay to not know everything. And I definitely remember as a kid, like I would just make shit up. I would just lie. If I didn't know, I would just lie. And everything's always been so matter of fact, and I've always like prided myself on what I know. But it's okay to not know everything.
I just went to someone hosted Susan Elaine. She hosted a class through my website. She did one and it was on human design. I went to it. And the thing that you do where you're like, can I sleep on it, is what she recommended for people that had the empty like headspace or whatever. And I was wondering, without asking you, I'm like, I wonder if that applies, because I just learned that, how helpful it can be. And it is. That's
You
like,
intuited that my head was empty. I see.
I didn't feel it, if that helps. I
You
was
didn't feel
just
anything up there.
not that.
No.
Can you save your work?
Yes, Spirit. Please save my work here.
One of your guides is the clipboard thing. The paperclip.
Oh, paperclip.
Can I help
God.
you with that?
Oh,
Yes.
that's where the question marks go. Can I help you? Why? Do you know how to save this document and apply? Oh, save and apply. Got it.
Save and apply.
Thanks,
I feel like we need
Clippy.
to like upload it. Can we please upload
Upload
this
it to your
document
drive.
to all the proper servers?
Hey, Joe, you know what you're really good at? Riffing. Do you know what riffing is?
Bless you.
Yeah.
Where like
And
people
Get the
are
gab.
like, well, but like you can bring it into casual conversation, and like if the
What?
room is silent, it can be like, oh, I'm really excited about crystals, and the dead silence, and you're like, crickets. Or you can be like, I guess no one finds crystals interesting. Like you're really good at like that. When I was like, oh yeah, I was wondering what the head, and you're like, are you saying my head was empty? Like. And it's like, it's a casual volleying, a riffing that you're really talented at. And it is filling a space of like, it carries it and makes laughter and makes things comfortable.
It lightens everyone's moods.
I love being in that side of myself, but I like have to like
Get in your
stumble
own
through
head.
it. I don't have a map to that side of my personality. I have to like
You get in your own head
find
about
myself
it?
there. I'll say yes. I don't know if I would put it in that words, but I think that's what it is. Sure.
Well, where
think?
you're just like, wow,
like-
your haircut looks super cute. It would look better
Not
on
everybody
Bubba.
gets this. I can't be on. I don't have this like to put on. Like it's like it has to be real with people that I'm connecting with, and then I give those people a hard time.
Yeah, it's almost like when you know they can take it.
I used to tell, like, I was a bartender at Olive Garden. It wasn't like anything major or whatever. I was a bartender at Olive Garden. We had regulars or whatever. And then people would come to pick up their takeout order. And I was like, oh, okay, what's the name? Here it is or whatever. And my regulars would be like, oh, she's nice to you. And then she's real with us. She's nice to you. And I'm like, I'm nice to everybody. Your guys just, bring out the asshole in me. Like, it's like, you don't need can you get rid of the on off switch? Like if it's not necessary to be there.
Spirit, please remove this on off switch for this aspect of my personality conducive.
And then secret secure that down.
Please secret secure this down.
One time, Kate and I called someone for we call it a threesome, hehe, but a dual session where both of us were on the phone. And so we called the person and we're like, hey, what's up? And they're like, hello. And we were like, yeah, what's up, man? What's going on? And they're like, this is how you start your sessions. And we're like, we're exactly the same way online as we are in real life. Yes.
Imagine that.
Yes. So you can still be, business persona and casual and talk to strangers. Like I had a partner that was always upset at me because they thought I flirted with everybody. And I was like, I mean, quintessentially I do. I make connections with like everybody. You know what I mean? Like I make eye contact and I joke and I get in there. That's flirting, sure. But why do you feel like you need to turn that aspect off, or someone needs to earn that part of you? And that sounds weird because it's not quite that, but why do you feel that way?
I think it's coming up with like an insecurity, or like I don't want to show myself until I know that I'm
Why?
safer to do that or something. Like,
Well,
Rejection.
what could happen to you?
so this is taking me to, I worked on this. I had a horrible, horrible coaching experience with, it's called a ontological coach. Have you heard of that? A beingness coach. It was fucking terrible because I already know so many like spiritual concepts that like they couldn't help me for shit. And then they had things to work on. It was awful. But it kept coming up like, and it's about how when I enter something unknown, I'm very cutesy. I'm not like these other girls. I'm very respectful. I'm very like, and what it is, it's a protection mechanism, but it's, and I was just talking about this with my mom the other day. Like when I was a little kid, I freaked out and I had to know, like, what is the hardest material on the planet? Like, what is the hardest thing? She's like, I think it's steel, honey. I'm like, no, that's not hard enough. Like, there's something harder than steel. Like, what is it? She's like, it's a diamond. And I was like, and I could just relax because I knew the limit. And so there's something about entering a new space and not feeling comfortable until I convince myself I know the limits. I know we go to class for 90 minutes and then the
But
library's right there and this is right there. So like,
how do you find the limits without the discomfort? So you asked your mom, what is the hardest? What is the discomfort? I'm not satisfied until I have the limit. How do you get that limit without the interaction? Like, okay,
that's a
so
great question.
at open house, there was one of the teachers helped me with directions for my kid. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And it ended up, I was actually supposed to be in his class. So I walk in and I'm just like, hey, you remember when you gave me directions? I was supposed to be in here. Dead silence. And I was like, all right, this guy does not joke. Cool. And I just shut the fuck up. I didn't make a big deal. I just kind of was like, noted, and went back to my place. But I put myself in a discomfort and uncomfortable. Like I always am just kind of like, where's the limit? There it is. I know it now. Why can't you be more in control? Why can't you be more in control of knowing your surroundings? Okay, so here's the thing.
So fear of rejection, right?
Right. That's what Kate was saying. So if you put yourself out there and they don't like you, that fucking okay, well, one, you can decide whether they matter or not. But if you don't, you sit there looping. Do they like me? Did they not like me? Why didn't I talk? Why didn't they talk to me? Using all that energy for fucking what?
I'll give you an example, okay, of how I deal with it. Like whenever an engine comes in, because I work on airplanes, I'll be like, hey, besties, your mom's dildo came in and it's over there. It's sitting in this bay if you want it. I will say like...
And a huge hanger.
Yes. And they don't know how to respond. So a lot of it's shock, but then you'll get the occasional like, he, 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 he. And then I'm like, all right, I can do that with that guy. This supervisor, this manager, they're too shocked. And this mechanic doesn't like it. So I just figured out a whole team of people like right then and there.
And she knows them. And then she can decide whether she wants to get to know them further or they can get to know her right away. She knows the limits like that.
This is tying back to what we were talking about the other minute, because I was going to say when I put such a hard period on it, sometimes it's like I almost feel this desire, this need, or that I want to push myself to be like more controversial or more polarized. Like, so you get those reactions because it's like, sorry, this is like a Christian phrase. I'm sorry, but it's like you can't do anything with lukewarm water or whatever. It's like you either want hot water or cold water. I forget how it goes, something like that. And it's like lukewarm water is not useful.
My raising was don't straddle the fence. The Christian phrasing, same thing. Yeah.
So I'm not doing a service to myself. I'm not being authentic. People don't get to know me. I don't get to connect with people as much because I'm afraid of rejection until I get through the discomfort of not knowing the limits, until I find the limits. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm safe. Now I can be me. But in the past, and what I've been working on for a few years now, is getting rid of all that people pleasing of like, okay, now that I know the context, now I can act like this and whatever. And
Why
so
do you
now
consider it people pleasing? Sorry.
that's the word that I use for it. I mean, I think that that's what it feels like. Like I was raised by a mom who really cared what other people thought, and so it's like we couldn't tell people the truth of what was going on. Like we had to like project a certain image, and so I call that people pleasing because that's what it's really close to home for me, and I've been
Okay.
trying to deconstruct it for years now.
Well, I mean, you're putting a label on it that limits it, but you like
Okay.
limits.
Here's another perspective too, though. They can always choose to not be around you.
Yeah.
They can always just not be around you.
My my MOM was like, you probably shouldn't be cussing, and you're like, if you're a spiritual person, you're probably gonna want to. And I was like, I don't want people who can't handle the word fuck. Like if they can't handle me like in my authentic self, then I'm not the healer for them. That plain and simple. If you don't give people the opportunity, like if you're always so polite that you don't want to ruffle feathers, or you don't want to it don't have to be raunchy or ridiculous either, but if you don't give them the opportunity to show their gross and their disdain or discomfort, then how do you know you want to be a part of their life too?
It's not always so one-sided.
You want a lot of limits. You want to know your surroundings. You're not finding anything out.
It's almost like
No,
you're sitting back and waiting. I will find these limits one day. You just wait. You will say something and I'll know that's your limits. 1 year later.
Well,
do you like ketchup?
I think we're in a strange place because like I haven't fully caught up to some of the work that I've been doing. Like I feel like I've been growing out of this, and I still have some programming or baggage of like how it used to be with this. Like for example, I just had like one of the worst birthdays of my life this year, and I felt like I had a lot of relationships with family members that were like not supporting me, and I was like creating so much space and awareness for them, and like trying to people please my own family, you know. And I'm like, fuck this! It's my birthday. I'm not gonna do that. And that kind of was one domino. I mean, it's this huge giant journey, but ultimately that's why I started posting on TikTok, because I'm like, I don't give a fuck what people think. This is what I love. I'm going to start talking about tarot and crystals on TikTok and find the other people that are interested in the same. Like, I'm not going to fight to belong. I'm just going to be me. And it's like finding the soul tribe, like kind of thing. And you just have to do it. You just have to go out and speak. And I was telling Kat when I started the mentorship program, like, I feel like I can't move forward on my own in isolation anymore. I have to speak. And that's why I started posting videos. And it was before I started the mentorship program. But
because it hurts. It hurts to be boxed in. You box your own self in with trying to feel everyone out first, instead of just being like, all right, here's what I'm all about. And I'm going to keep being what I'm all about. So you should probably not be around me. That sucks. Damn. So it's kind of how it is though. Like, do you want people that don't like you around you? I had to figure that out. Like, and it still fucks with me that like they can also leave. It's not one-sided, but I was raised one-sided. I was, raised alone. So it's kind of like, I didn't know any better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know that people could make their own decisions to not be around me.
I mean, I think that's why I think it's kind of weird because, like, I think I'm doing the things, like, I'm moving forward, I'm choosing myself, I'm letting myself be heard for not trying to be anyone else, There's definitely that pain. I feel like I got through some really, like, strongly attached relationships with family members that I was like, damn, I have to even let go of these people? But it's like, yeah, no, I do, because I need to choose me. Can we do something energetic with this? Do you think there's...
Yeah. So, the heart box that I have on my thing, Kate? Not you, Kate. I've never showed you, Joe.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were trying to have a guest today.
Yeah, about that.
It's
So,
an
Kate.
conversation.
So, Kate, this...
Well, Joe, how very healed of you to say.
Right, exactly, bitch. All right, so anyway, I took this off while Joe was talking, and I was holding it. We're getting to the energetic thing. Stop. God dang it. So I took this lid off, and I'm holding it here, but inside of the box, it wasn't just taking the lid off of the heart box. I have the headphones in here, and that feels significant. When Joe was talking about the family and the like, it's not speakers, and of course it's wires or whatever, but like the headphones are in here, but it's like holding it like this and not putting it on and off. It's just holding it.
Oh, do you need to merge with that?
Wired earphones don't fit your vibe. They are not tech enough for you. And I don't know why you are using outdated stuff. I don't know why you are.
It's very I'm not like other girls. AirPods, disgusting.
What's that? Oh, I can hear you crystal clear with my AirPods.
Right. So why do you have earbuds in a like, and literally not even like, you're like, oh, I should do something with that, and you're like looking at the lid of the box here of this heart. I'm so confused as to like what the fuck you're even doing with this, and it has to do with your family. What the fuck? Where do we need to go with this? Just upgrade and update it, or
I was gonna say upgrade and update, but what are we updating? Like, what is the thing?
The way you act around everyone. You have a box for your family. Do you like not let? It's very like, no, guys, I am not successful. I am not. Look at my wired headphones from 10 years ago.
Oh, I feel like you're calling me out.
I'm
do
not.
you dumb down your like accessories and stuff to fit in? Do you like? You do. You change your outfit. You change your tech wear. You change things to fit in with people. Yes, like family and stuff for their comfort. Do you go that far?
Prior to like this year, prior to like June of this year, I have tried so hard to fit in with that family. And I've also defined parts of my personality by being different from them in certain ways. Like the not being successful thing, I'm like, oh, I'm not as material as them. I'm spiritual.
I'm not like other girls. Also, here's my wired headphone. I'm so like you guys.
You guys,
I'm really
butter,
down to
I
earth.
churn butter.
Oh my god.
Me too, girl.
Oh. So, like, what if you updated and upgraded to be the same with everyone? That doesn't feel good.
No, that's so uncomfortable. It made my knees sweat. I'm sorry.
Like how it felt when I heard it. What about I'll try it. Spirit, please upgrade and update all of this conducive. Can we just try that?
Okay. So it's like doing a stair step movement, which is better. It's still updated and upgraded. So, and it's still a step above how it was. If you want to level it out, that would be okay too, but it's going to be really uncomfy when you go to see them again. And it's like, oh, you have a pair of Marc Jacob boots? I don't know what he has. And it's like, yeah, I've had them for years. And it's like, I didn't know you could afford that. We just bought groceries. And it's like, cool. Well, I'm me, so
I also don't have kids, so I have more money.
it's very that, but you don't like that. You want to be down in the shit in order to experience the shit with them so you can relate to it. But it's way easier to relate from the outside. But you'll see that once you you can see it now, but like it'll really click in.
So if it's in my highest good, let's do it. Like if it's uncomfortable, let's go through it. Because that's
okay.
Let's just
level it all out up at the where Joe is. Let's refresh.
So Spirit, please level everything out with this, where I'm at. If it's in my highest good, conducive with my highest good.
very cold.
Jeez Louise.
Speed that up and secret secure
Please
that
speed
down.
this up by 100 million years. Please secure this down.
I love when people use language that lets me know how long they've actually been with us. It makes me really happy. Sorry.
Okay.
So it feels kind of still to me. I don't know. There's a kitty next to me. A black cat.
Oh my
There he goes.
god! Okay. Thanks for that. See, that was my Kateisms. See how I didn't get upset? I was just like, there's a fucking cat. I will see this cat. It'll take 5 seconds of your life to show me the cat. Okay, bye. So, and it lets you know, too. It's like a gauge. It's like, all right, me and this person won't really vibe. Me and this person will vibe. I will know what I can and cannot come to them for. Like, it's just, you know?
Yeah. So I'd say something like this. Spirit, please upgrade and update my personality throughout all dimensions of me, conducive, and please allow those that are not, how do I say this? Please allow people to fall away as needed. Please allow people to find me as needed.
Can you update and upgrade your perspectives on your personality, too?
Please upgrade and update my perspective of my personality.
And upgrade and update the labels.
And upgrade and update all these labels.
Oh, it's going to be pretty upfront with it. And you might, like, after it happens, you might be like, why did I say that? And it's like this. You want to know from the start. It's so much easier that way than playing fucking football with yourself. All right, catch. All right, maybe we'll get a goal this time. Looks like it's going to go really good, though. It looks like you'll be able to step back and kind of be like, oh, this is just me. Yeah.
You know, some of the funniest people I've ever met are very, like, straight-faced. Not bitch-faced, but straight-faced. And, like, I'll tell a story, and, like, Kate does it as a joke sometimes, like, tell a story or whatever, if she doesn't have anything to say. Not as much anymore, but it's just very much like, wow. Like, as a joke. And it makes the other person get in their head about it. So, like, it doesn't have to be so severe or so vulgar or anything. It can just, I don't know. I don't know. Can you anchor this down or secure it down? It's very floaty.
I was just going to say, I feel it like all right up here, like my face. It feels very much about my face, which is interesting. Please secure this down. Please anchor this.
Oh, integrate it with the rest of you, the rest of your Jonas.
Please integrate this with the rest of
you
my
can tell
Jonas.
by the way I move. You can. Okay. Now we're doing something. Shit. Just walking down the road.
Funky. I feel like I need to buy.
Do you know that opening scene with John Travolta? You know that one specifically?
I don't think I can picture it.
It's the opening scene of that movie, and it starts with his shoes or whatever, and he's walking down the city, and it like scans up on his suit, and he's just grooving and walking down, and he's turning heads, just being himself. Yeah, with the white pants. Hell yeah.
That's so funny because I sing on my walk from one side of the hangar to the other.
You sing that one?
Like that? Not that one, just any song. Like I think this morning it was Untouched by the Veronicas. I feel so untouched right now. Like
Your own movie soundtrack when you exist.
Yep. It's great.
Kate's in a supervisor role, like more so than like a lead inspection. There's a lot of titles there, but like she took her section, her team, and she's like, okay, girlies, and she does like the nail emoji, the like fingernail things, and she's like don't forget to slay the day, like that's how she does. She's yesified.
Aviation.
Yes.
Aviation.
And to a bunch of old men.
This
love
is the
it.
real gay agenda.
Yes, this is it.
And they'll talk politics, and I'll be like, no, besties, listen, we have to inspect this plane. And then they're just like okay.
She brings it back to serious, but like it doesn't. It can feel like you. It's okay for it to feel like you.
And that's why people will want to be around you, is for you. That makes sense? Because you are so different.
I feel like what's coming to mind is I've been falling in love with myself more. Like when I post videos, like I haven't even seen that side of myself. Because when if I would read for friends or something, like I don't know what it looks like or sounds like or anything. And like part of putting myself out there is I have to edit it and like watch it like 3 times to edit it and like add all the words and stuff. And it's like,
yeah, that stuff takes a long time to.
Like I'm a badass. Like this is cool.
But that editing shit and putting all those words on the screen, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, you misspelled it." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like it took me this 15-minute video or 15-second video took me 2 hours. So shut the fuck up.
You want to do it next time? No, weird.
But yeah, no.
But I think
it's
that's where
really
like the
cool to
strength
see you.
comes from, because then you're not, then it doesn't matter if you lose people on the way, because it's like I got me, and I need to get me on board. Oh, that hits home, because I haven't always been on board. I think that's why it's been easier to people please, or whatever label, the new updated label I still haven't found yet. Making myself smaller to fit in.
Yeah, the way you make your videos, it's very, like I've already mentioned it to you before, it's already, you're liking yourself more. Like, you're having more fun. And with you having more fun, people watch, people interact. And it's not to get like views or follows. It's just genuinely like, oh my God, I see this in the card and holy shit, you're on a self-love journey. And like rose quartz is, oh my God. And like you're integrating all those things into these readings, and it makes people be excited. Like when you made that video, because we got, I told Kate that you made a video, the video that you made with me, and I was like, it's so exciting to see him talking about exciting things, but that video was so authentically you. I was like, is he even going to post it? Is he even going to post it? It is so unlike anything he puts out there, but he is passionate as fuck about it. Is he going to post it? And you did. And I was like, holy shit, that in itself is huge. Huge. It's fun to watch you talk about the shit that you're excited about.
This is too ishy-gushy.
Okay, I understand that feeling.
Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
I understand that feeling.
Sentimental and kind of vulnerable.
Okay, well, it be like that. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know what to tell you. Yeah, no, it's cool. I like watching I like watching you figure yourself out. It's cool. It's cool.
Okay, well then we're going there. I'm going there because, Kat, I wouldn't be able to post without you, and you've been such a huge part of my journey, and seeing you be so authentic. I'm sorry, Kate, I didn't find you until I found Kat. I found you through Kat, but
it happens like that. And then people don't find Kat until they find me. It's just
people. I can always tell who finds Kate first. It's really funny. It's we love it. It's part of the game.
They're all the extra weird ones go to Kate first.
No. Well, That's an interesting perspective.
I guess.
I was
Who the
just
hell?
throwing
Are you an
shade
extra
on-
weird one? I don't know if she's still in here. Anyway.
Whom's the hell?
I'm one of the normal ones. I went through cat first.
Normal? I don't think so, buddy.
I'm just throwing shade.
Wow.
No, but I really appreciate it because it makes me feel like I'm doing what I want to be doing, seeing other examples of other people out there.
Oh, we were talking about people who found like me first or found Kate first, and then Joe here said the weird ones find Kate first, and I was like, oh, maybe
No,
that's a good perspective. And I was like, oh, whom the hell did you? You're pretty weird. I'm pretty sure you found. Yeah, let's do some closings and let's close this up and make it like. Yeah. Whom the hell said ha 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 Kate first? We can always tell who finds who first. It's just funny. Yeah, let's do close up / sign offs, which is the way that Kate does it, and close it all up and call it a night.
We wanted to say them out loud or go to the page.
That's up to you. I know we're over time, but I'm good with it either way.
Okay, Joe Gwirly, are you wanting to do the close up / sign offs?
Nose goes.
What does that mean?
You go ahead.
Who's
do you want to repeat? That means you go first, not him.
Oh.
Do you want to repeat after her, or do you just want to do them on your own? Is basically what she's asking.
I'll repeat after you because I can't do it without I go back to your page every time and read it.
Okay. So Spirit, if it's in my highest good.
Spirit, if it's in my highest good.
Please activate the close up / sign offs to all of this.
Please activate the close up / sign off to all of this.
Mm-hmm. The calibration healings to all this.
The calibration healings to all of this.
The alignment healings to all this.
The alignment healings to all this.
The merging healings to all this.
The merging healings to all this.
The timeline healings to all this.
The timeline healings to all this.
The timeline sew up healings to all this.
The timeline sew up healings to all this.
Please close the book on all dead timelines and all dead versions of me.
Please close the book on all dead timelines and dead versions of me.
The burnout healings to all this.
The burnout healings to all this.
The blowout healings to all this.
The blowout healings to all this.
The brain aneurysm healings to all this.
The brain aneurysm healings to all this.
The sensory overload healings to all this.
The sensory overload healings to all this.
The ripple healings to all this.
The ripple healings to all this.
And speed all this up.
And speed all this up.
Please copy and paste all of this.
Please copy paste all of this.
To all forms and versions of me that need it.
To all forms and versions of me that need it.
Throughout time, space.
Throughout time, space.
Spaces in between.
Spaces in between.
All dimensions and forms.
All dimensions and forms.
Up, down, left, right.
Up, down, left, right.
Side to side, front to back.
Side to side, front to back.
Conducive to what they each need.
Conducive to what they each need.
To the residual.
To the residual.
To the thing down, flip it and reverse it.
To the thing down, flip it and reverse it.
And to all 4 quadrants.
And all 4 quadrants.
And Spirit, if it's in my highest good.
And Spirit, if it's in my highest good.
Please secret secure all of this down.
Please secret secure all this down.
Conducive.
Conducive.
Speed this up.
Speed this up.
Undo anything and everything.
Undo anything and everything.
That was done here.
That was done here.
That was not done in the highest good.
That was not done in the highest good.
Or that was not supposed to be done.
Or that was not supposed to be done.
Okay. That was fun as fuck. Thank you,
Thanks
Joe.
for hanging out.
Thanks,
I
Kat.
appreciate it. Thanks,
Thank you,
Kate.
everyone.
That was so fun.
Yes. It was very enjoyable.
Good times.
All right.
Now
Don't
get
be a
outta
disconnect.
here.
Yes, very good, very good.
Don't be a disconnect.
Bye.
Bye, love y'all. Bye. To book a dual session with Kate and Kat, visit either of our websites listed in the description of this video. For a spirit guide reading, you can book with KaptinKate at www.KaptinKate.com. For a one-on-one trauma healing session with Cat and Boots, you can visit www.catandboots138.com.